July 7, 2024. 14th Sunday in Ordinary Time. A reading from the prophet Ezekiel. In those days, the Spirit entered into me and set me on my feet, and I heard him speaking to me. And he said to me, Son of man, I send you to the people of Israel, to nations of rebels, who have rebelled against me. They and their fathers have transgressed against me to this very day. The descendants also are impudent and stubborn. I send you to them, and you shall say to them, Thus says the Lord God. And whether they hear or refuse to hear, for they are a rebellious house, they will know that a prophet has been among them. The word of the Lord. Responsorial Psalm. Respond is, Our eyes are on the Lord our God, till he show us his mercy. To you have I lifted up my eyes, you who dwell in the heavens. Behold, like the eyes of slaves on the hand of their lords. Our eyes are on the Lord our God, till he show us his mercy. Like the eyes of a servant on the hand of her mistress, so our eyes are on the Lord our God, till he show us his mercy. Our eyes are on the Lord our God, till he show us his mercy. Have mercy on us, Lord, have mercy. We are filled with contempt. Indeed, all too full is our soul with the scorn of the arrogant, and the disdain of the proud. Our eyes are on the Lord our God, till he show us his mercy. A reading from the second letter of St. Paul to the Corinthians. Brethren, to keep me from becoming conceited because of the surpassing greatness of the revelations, a thorn was given me in the flesh, a messenger of Satan to harass me, to keep me from becoming conceited. 3 times I pleaded with the Lord about this, that it should leave me. But he said to me, My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. Therefore I will boast all the more gladly of my weaknesses, so that the power of Christ may rest upon me. For the sake of Christ, then, I am content with weaknesses, insults, hardships, persecutions, and calamities. For when I am weak, then I am strong. The word of the Lord. Alleluia, Alleluia. The Spirit of the Lord is upon me, because he has anointed me to proclaim good news to the poor. Alleluia. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Mark. At that time, Jesus came to his hometown, and his disciples followed him. And on the Sabbath he began to teach in the synagogue, and many who heard him were astonished, saying, Where did this man get these things? What is the wisdom given to him? How are such mighty works done by his hands? Is not this the carpenter, the son of Mary and brother of James and Joses and Judas and Simon? And are not his sisters here with us? And they took offense at him. And Jesus said to them, A prophet is not without honor, except in his hometown and among his relatives and in his own household. And he could do no mighty work there, except that he laid his hands on a few sick people and healed them. And he marveled because of their unbelief. And he went about among the villages teaching. The Gospel of the Lord. Reflection. Today's Gospel speaks of Jesus' rejection in his own hometown, and by the people who knew him best. Rather than listen to the preaching of Jesus, the people of Nazareth were more concerned about his identity, his relatives, his occupation, and social status. As a result, they were unable to hear God's own words proceeding from the mouth of Jesus. As Catholics, we must realize that the brothers and sisters of Jesus mentioned in today's Gospel were not the children of Mary, but were near relatives of Jesus. But the fact that they are mentioned shows that the people of Nazareth thought that by knowing Jesus' external connections, they knew everything there was to know about him. To express this in today's context, it would be like a person who knows nothing more than Christmas and Easter, claiming to be a true follower of Jesus. Today's Gospel therefore makes us pause and think about what it means to know Jesus. Those who truly know Jesus are not those who know his father's name and mother's name and brothers' names and his occupation as a carpenter. Rather, to know Jesus means to be able to look through his humanity and see the incarnate Word dwelling among us. The ones who know Jesus are Mother Mary and the disciples, who are able to listen to his words and obey his commandments. Without this life of obedience, we are focusing on merely external knowledge, which can be misleading. Such a person can say that he knows about Jesus, but not that he knows Jesus. To know the Lord therefore means to obey his teachings. It does not mean knowing the Bible by heart, but following the Bible with our heart. It does not mean knowing the names of Jesus' friends and relations, but it means having Jesus as our own brother and friend. As the famous book, The Imitation of Christ, teaches, there is use in knowing everything about the Holy Trinity if we are wanting in humility and therefore displeasing to the same Trinity. Let us therefore learn from the big mistake made by the people of Nazareth. They had grown up with Jesus, and they ignored him because they were too familiar with him. They did not expect that he might be an important person whom they should pay heed to. We too as Christians have grown up with Jesus, and we have met him daily through our prayers and our sacraments. But do we know Jesus? Do we walk in his path?